Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be reviewing Prom Dates. I was really looking forward to this movie. I really loved the actresses. I mean, I had never seen them work together. I think this is the first time they were working together. I'd seen one girl from High School Musical, the series, and then another girl from Ginny and Georgia. Two completely different things, but I was eager to see like how their chemistry was on screen. I think that they would have worked well together. I think that their personalities and their acting skills, from what I've seen, would have been a very interesting combination. I just feel like the movie tried to be too much. So we have these two girls, childhood best friends, somehow ended up under the table at a prom. It was very reminiscent of that movie with Anne Hathaway, where they got their wedding set on the same day, and it was her and her friend, and I don't remember the name of the movie. I used to watch it all the time. And they were like underneath the table and they saw the wedding. Why these two individual girls were just at a prom underneath the table, I don't know. And then they promised each other that they would go to prom. One girl wanted to be prom queen, and have amazing dates. They did like the blood pact, and then one of the girls, she cut herself too deep, ended up bleeding everywhere, ran out from the table, got blood all around the prom. And I'm just like, why are they there to begin with? And then this movie is, from what I see now, it's going to be one of those that try really hard to be funny, and it's going to fail miserably at it. So then fast forward, the girl who wants to be prom queen, she has a boyfriend. She doesn't really seem invested in him, but is keeping him just because, prom, and to have someone. And it's sad because she has her best friend, and she literally, needs more. And her best friend ends up being gay, and having a crush on a girl at school. This individual, I believe they're non-binary. They were in Zombies 3. It was really interesting to see these two Disney Channel individuals be so mature, and suddenly, it was a switch flip. Because I believe back then, back in the day, when I say back then, when I'm thinking of early Disney Channel, if they were in a movie like this, they would have been kicked off Disney. So good for them for branching out. I don't know if they're going to do any more Disney projects in the future, or what that says to their their Disney career. But this movie was a leap from what I was used to seeing from them. And if they are, good for them. But it was very interesting. Just seeing them be this movie has intimate scenes. This movie has it's a try to be funny movie, but then also a coming of age, but also not for coming of age individuals, more sort of geared towards the young adults, because it has there's some humor on racism, there's some humor on sexuality, there's some humor on there's intimate scenes, like I said before, just all sorts of things, and it became a bit much, as I mentioned before, because they end up going on this whole night kind of thing where they have to find prom dates the night before prom, because the girl who wants to be prom queen ends up finding that her boyfriend is cheating on her. He never like really was like invested either. But like for him, it was like him being a jerk and her just kind of wanting him and kind of using him in that sense. So when he cheated on her, I was like, girl, joke's on you. Like, you kept it going and you knew he was a jerk and you still just kind of wanted, you were using him as well. Like, it's a two-way street here. And the poor girl, the other girl who is gay, she has this boyfriend that she's had for years, because she didn't want to come out as gay, and this boyfriend is very obsessed with her, to the point where it's almost creepy. Whenever he came on, I was like, dear God, please, someone, like, get rid of him. He was very annoying, very creepy, and then in the end, very understanding, but still kind of weird. So she breaks up with him when he basically, he was going to a certain college, and then he says that he transferred to another school, the school she's going to, and so that way they could be together forever, and this creeps her out, and of course she's not into him, so she breaks up with him. He's like freaking out and everything, and thus they go on their nightly adventure to find prom dates. And then the boyfriend is like trying to look for her the whole night and like, you know, get back together with her. And then her brother and the best friend who wanted to be prom queen, they slept together at one point, and she made it seem like, oh, it was with this other guy, it was like foreign and everything, and it will never happen again. And they have feelings for each other, it's clear, but they just never act on them because it's her brother. But if this girl's so desperate and not really paying attention to her best friend to become prom queen, like, why wouldn't she use that as an excuse to find like her prom king? She wanted prom king and prom queen. She wanted that title. So that didn't make sense to me, but then again, she had this other guy, and I guess it was just easier for her that way. Yeah, they end up at a frat house with college boys and college girls, and some sexy time happens, and or is about to happen, or is mentioned. There's weed involved. It was a lot going on, and they were like here and there, like, I want to, you know, find a prom date so badly, and the other girl's just getting so over it, but then she's also like discovering things about her sexuality as things are happening, and she's throwing up everywhere, and she's getting high, and like she's like, yes, I'm high, I can go and I can flirt with girls now. And that, as a message in many films that I see, is just very sad. Like, you don't need to be high to be able to be your best self. I mean, if that's your thing, that's your thing, but like she was already such a dominant figure, and then, you know, she was shy with her, like, with coming into terms with her sexuality and coming out, like, not coming to terms, I think she already came to terms, but I think that what I did like about this movie was that she was kind of being exposed, but like it was right in her face, like, things were being right in her face, and she was like having the best and also worst night of her life. It was just so many crazy instances, and these are all high school girls, and they're going through all this stuff, and all this is blended with humor, and it's just like, it was just too much for me, honestly. I love a good, bad, funny movie. I love a good, crazy, a lot of stuff happens in one day kind of movie, but this was a lot of like trying to be funny but not being funny. There's this one joke that the girl says, she is biracial, but like I believe in this movie she was also biracial because the mom was white. I didn't see the dad. And she was like, there's special, I forgot the line, but basically she was like, oh, like when I told you I was black, or when you found out I was black. And I'm like, that's not funny. And I'm like, how do you not know she's a very tan, beautiful girl, but I'm just like, was this necessary, and then they always make like these characters that are excessively like, or at least love interests that are excessively like overdoing it with their love and expressing their profound love to the individuals to the point where it is borderline like stalkery, creepy, like, and that it's not okay, and not every individual who's like dorky or whatever is like that. And I think it's just a bad stereotype that they keep using in movies. And I don't know, there just was a lot being thrown at me, a lot being thrown at these girls. I was watching it but not really going on the adventure with them. So yeah, I mean, if you're into that stuff, I would recommend it. But I think I would compare it, if anything. What's that movie? Oh my goodness, that movie is so bad. It's these two girls, and then they end up being a whole group of them, the friend and then the cousin. But these two girls grew up, they're both Chinese. And then her parents are not her actual parents. She's adopted, so she wants to go and see where she's come from. But it's also a business trip. That one was try to be funny, but in a good way. And I feel like this was trying to be something like that, but I can't even find words for it, honestly. It was not at all something enjoyable for me. But that being said, I do think that these two are brilliant actresses, and I look forward to the next season of Ginny and Georgia, but I don't think I would ever watch this movie again. I do like, however, in the end, how they realize that Prom wasn't all that it was, lived up to be. And when that girl asked the other girl to be her girlfriend, and it was just like, you literally had one sexy night that lasted 5 seconds, and then the boyfriend popped in and made it very weird, and then she was grossed out. They were grossed out, I'm sorry. And then they were still into you, and it was just like, okay. But I'm glad they became friends with you, and now, you have more of a community. That's great. Your best friend, basically pushed you to the side a lot, and you forgave her, of course, because, you're best friends and everything. And then she admitted that she had feelings for your brother, and then I think the smartest thing in this movie was she told the brother, I don't think I'm ready to date. I think I'm done dating for right now. And then he was like, okay, like, basically I'll wait. And it was so cute in that one moment. And I was like, this is it. This is the best part of the whole movie right here. This is the most reasonable part of the whole movie. But yeah, I'm gonna stop it there. It just gave me a headache trying to follow along and trying to process the jokes and being like, what? Yeah. I mean, but if it's your cup of tea, it wasn't like one that came out in the theaters. It was one that was like released, like, but then there's other things that are released through streaming services and stuff. But it wasn't like, I only saw the trailers for it like on YouTube and stuff. So those movies are usually hit or miss. But I just did not enjoy it. And if I keep rambling about it, it's gonna get very confusing. Because it already is in my head. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you all soon. Bye!